Hello and welcome back to this day trading analysis video of the 20th of May 2025. In this video, I'm going to analyze pre-market biggest movers and their catalysts and see if they were tradable and how they could have been traded during the pre-market and the market session. If you're new here, I'm sharing my journey learning trading, focusing on catalyst-based day trading and catalyst-based swing trading, and I'm looking to develop an edge over news and catalysts. So if this is something that interests you, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. The first stock we're going to look at is QBTS. This stock is a quantum computing technology stock, which had a news at around 7 a.m. And the news was that the company announces general availability of Advantage 2 quantum computer, its most advanced and performance system. From the headline itself, you can tell that the news is about launching and making available a new product that is more advanced and more performant. Now, the subheadlines here say that their 6th generation quantum computer shown to solve hard problems beyond the reach of classical computers, that the new system delivers significant performance gains with greater coherence and increased qubit connectivity to better tackle more complex problems at scale. And the last subheadline here is about the number of production-ready units that are available for commercialization, so for customer real-world use cases. Now, looking at the news in more details, so it says here that D-Wave Quantum ENC, a leader in quantum computing systems, software and services, today announces the general availability of its Advantage 2 quantum computing system, which is a powerful and energy efficient annealing quantum computer capable of solving computationally complex problems beyond the reach of classical computers. Featuring D-Wave's most advanced quantum processor to date, the Advantage 2 system is commercial grade and built to address real-world use cases in areas such as optimization, material simulation, and artificial intelligence. So you can see that they are underlying the fact that this new computer is capable of solving complex problems beyond the reach of classical computers, and that it is commercial grade, and that its applications go into optimization, materials simulation, and artificial intelligence. Then the next thing here is a statement from the CEO of the company. Then it goes to talk about, I suppose, the market, the target market of this Advantage 2 system, which is now made available in 40 countries and offers 99.9 availability and uptime and sub-second response time. So this is about the performance to meet enterprise need and security requirements. And for hyperscalers and supercomputing centers that want to integrate quantum computing into their infrastructure, the Advantage 2 system is also available to purchase for on-premises ownership. Okay. Now it goes into actually detailing the performance gain of that new product. So we're talking about increased qubit connectivity, higher energy scale, and lower noise. So it says that the Advantage 2 system offers 40% increase in energy scale and 75% reduction in noise, which contributes to higher quality solutions for complex calculations, greater coherence, that was mentioned before, energy efficient processing power, and fast anneal. So this feature enables coherent quantum annealing at scale, greatly reducing the impact of external disturbances such as thermal fluctuation that can hinder quantum calculation. And the last performance gain is the hybrid solver integration. Okay, and then it goes to talk about, I suppose, the advantages of this new product versus regular computers. So organizations regularly face the limitation of legacy computing solutions, leading to a growing demand for D-Wave enabling quantum computing technology to tackle hard problems such as optimizing mobile networks, creating more efficient workforce scheduling, and streamlining automotive manufacturing processes. Okay, so more than 20.6 million customers problems have been run over the Advantage 2. So they're just detailing the applications and the wide applications of this Advantage 2 and how it can enhance performance within these organizations that face these limitations. So, okay, and then it says here that it begins today. A full-scale, generally available Advantage 2 system is accessible in the Leap Quantum Cloud service for all D-Wave customers. In addition, D-Wave continues to expand its fleet of annealing quantum computers. So a forward-looking statement about the future, which is always very nice to have in the news, can be hosted around the world. The forthcoming Advantage 2 are hosted on-premise at Davidson Technology, intended to serve as a focal point for national security-focused quantum research. Okay, and then you have some further statements and then just a mention about the company. So this is, of course, a very, very positive, very bullish news. So if I were to summarize the news as I see it, this is a company in a very hot theme in the current market, which is the quantum computing theme, which is coming up with a new product that offers a significant performance gain over classic computers, and from prototyping and other tests. And it is just, the announcement is that it is being, the only caveat that I see about the news is that this product was already developed and tested in earlier phases, and there were announcements made about this product. And so the news today is really just about the fact that this new product is being fully released for commercial use, which is a significant news in itself, but it is not the first ever announcement about the Advantage 2 system. Therefore, I have some reservations about if this news is kind of already priced in the share price. Having said that, this news is still about moving a product from the development phase into commercialization. It signals that this product has passed necessary validation and is publicly and commercially accessible currently, and it's no longer in the R&D phase. And so therefore it is still news that has the potential to take the stock price higher. Now, how much higher is remains to be seen. So let's look at how the stock reacted to this news. So this is the 1-minute chart of the QBTS stock during the pre-market session. And as you can see, around the time the news came out, the stock started trending higher. And so it made a first move between 7 all the way until kind of 7:45, a first leg, then a bit of a pullback there, but like quite shallow pullback, and then sort of a second leg all the way from $14.63 to nearly $16 there. And so the whole move was about 16%, which is actually a decent move for such a stock. Now, given that this is not a low float or low market cap stock, in my experience, when such a stock has a good news, usually it would trend higher without that first kind of overreaction followed by a sharp pullback. Therefore, I don't need to see sort of like a pullback followed by a sideways action and another breakout to enter the position for the second leg. The news and the catalyst and the initial breakout are already indicators of what the stock might be doing going forward. And so this is what happened really. So the stock started trending higher, then a very shallow pullback, then goes even higher and offered a pretty nice opportunity pre-market of nearly 16%. Even after the market opened, it went even higher. So initially it starts selling off at the market open, then a leg higher, and then a bit of selling off, and then another leg higher, and it actually ended the market session with a nice how much was it, 25% gain. The second stock we're going to look at is NRXS, which is a biotech company. Had the news at 8 in the morning that it was awarded the first ever FDA clearance for the treatment of pediatric FAP, functional dyspepsia, and associated nausea symptoms. So obviously FDA clearance is a good news, but we need to look into the details of what was exactly cleared by the FDA. So significantly expands IB's theme. So these are the subheadlines. Significantly expand IB's theme total addressable market. Okay, so there is an expansion of the addressable market. Clearance covers patients aged 8-21. And seamless go-to-market strategy with existing reimbursement and provide structures. So, okay. Let's look into the news in more detail. So the NRXS, a medical technology company commercializing neuromodulation therapies addressing chronic and debilitating conditions in children and adults, today announces that it has received FDA clearance for IB-Steam. So this is the drug that received FDA clearance for the treatment of pediatric function abdominal pain associated with functional dyspepsia and FD-related nausea symptoms in patient aged 8-21. Okay, so it received a clearance for a particular condition and associated symptoms, but only for patient aged 8-21, so for a very particular demographic. This clearance is the second successful expanded FDA indication for IB-Steam, which means that this is not the first time this IB-Steam received an FDA clearance or validation. And it was probably so it says here, following its initial approval for functional abdominal pain associated with irritable bowel syndrome. The new indication represents the first treatment. So this is actually the significant news because the fact that IB-Steam was already FDA cleared or FDA validated for something else makes it that it's, it's not a news that is taking the market completely by surprise. It's an expansion of something that has already been proven to be working for something. And plus, it is only applicable for a limited demographic, so a limited addressable market. But there is a news here that is quite significant. So the new indication represents the first treatment ever cleared or approved by the FDA related to functional dyspepsia. It is expected to nearly double the company's total addressable market. That's okay. That's very good. Reinforcing NRXS leadership in non-invasive, pediatric-focused neuromodulation. So this news here, this piece of news, indicates that this FDA clearance, it's the first ever that was given for a drug that is addressing a functional dyspepsia. Just to rectify that, IB-Steam is not a drug but a medical device, so my bad. So that means that there is absolutely no competition. Now, the fact that the market size for this particular condition, especially the demographic aged 8-21, is pretty small, pretty limited, obviously in relative terms. So it makes it a very bullish news, but of course with limitations. Okay, now, is there anything else? So the indication leverages the same CPT code, so it goes into more details about their strategy. Then there is a statement there, another statement, and then there's something else about the technology. So it says here that IB-Steam is FDA cleared for functional abdominal pain associated with irritable bowel syndrome. So that's what this drug was FDA cleared for before. And now functional dyspepsia in adolescent 8-21. IB-Steam is non-surgical device that sends gentle electrical impulses into cranial nerve bundles in the ear. There are currently no FDA-approved drug therapies for children with abdominal pain-related disorders of the gut-brain interaction. Okay. And then pharmacologic treatments that use drugs off-label can often have serious side effects and most lack scientific evidence of efficacy. So obviously, they are underlying the fact that this is an alternative treatment, a non-invasive treatment, and that the existing pharmacologic treatments with drugs can often have serious side effects. And they also underline the fact that some of them don't even have evidence of efficacy, scientific evidence of efficacy. So it is a good news, but with some reservations about the market size and the fact that it was not, it's not the first FDA clearance of that particular drug. Now let's look at how the market reacted to this news. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart again of NRXS over the pre-market session, and you can see that around the time the news came out, there was an initial little reaction there, a bit choppy, a bit kind of up and down, then a significant breakout there. So that's what I would call personally the overreaction. Then there was a pullback. So the pullback here, bringing down, flushing down the stock price and bringing it down to kind of like around the initial levels. Then there is the sideways action. So here is where potentially one could take the trade. So above the VWAP, when the stock goes above VWAP here, that's when there is an indication that maybe there is a breakout is going to happen. And this is actually what happened. The move from here all the way to here was 70%, which is pretty nice, but it's pretty rapid as well. It's very fast trading, so 6 minutes total of this move, and then it kind of pulled back again, came down from 675 all the way to 5. So yeah, it lost $1 in the share price, and then it continued its trading in a sideways when probably, you know, people lost interest in that stock. So I would say that this leg here is the actual reaction to the news, which was a positive, but indicating that, you know, the market actually thought that the news was positive, but that's it. It's not any sort of game-changing news. Sometimes when you have these biotech companies coming up with the first ever clearance, FDA clearance or FDA approval, something like that, the stock can go 100%, 200%, 300%, even during the market session. Even after the market opened, the reaction there was that the stock actually gave up most of the gains. So tried to go up a little bit here around, you know, the market open time there, but, you know, from there onwards there at 9:40, it just continued going down and sort of like sideways for the rest of the day, even going down further. So yeah, these kinds of news to be traded with caution. This is a biotech company, very volatile. The news itself requires some expertise in terms of biotech, and usually these are a 1 day, or I would say day trading kind of news catalyst. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my videos, and leave me a comment with your commentary, your suggestions, and thank you for watching.